boys and girls, go ahead and get out your butterfly packet that we did the other day. Do you have this? We're going to work on labeling the butterfly today, and the topic web, which is this page right here. Okay, so we're going to need both of those today. Yesterday we read about butterflies. We're going to read about butterflies again today, just to remind us and refresh our memory. The more we hear it, the more we know it. And also it helps with the fluency. So I want you to touch the words as I read and read along with me. Yesterday we circled the words that we knew. Okay, so when we get to those words, I want to hear you saying those words with me. Okay, so again, the title of our article is Butterflies. This is an informational text, which means it's we don't have any characters, right? There's nobody that this is about. That, like Junie B. Jones, you have Junie B, and you have Grace, and you have Lucille. We don't have any characters here. We're reading about butterflies. Also, in informational text, they tell you facts, right? They tell you things, they give you information, okay? And so remember, there's not a story, there's not a setting, this is not taking place anywhere. This is an informational text that we're going to be reading again, and it's about butterflies. Okay, ready? Finger on the first word, read along. Butterflies are insects and start off their lives as caterpillars. They have 4 wings and 3 body parts: the head, thorax, and abdomen. Butterflies also have 2 antennae, which they use to touch, taste, and smell. Butterflies feed on nectar from flowers. Butterflies lay eggs. Caterpillars emerge once the eggs are hatched. Good. Okay, so go ahead. We're going to take a look at this paper right here. So go ahead and get that out in front of you. And let's see. Let's go ahead and read the words down below first. Okay. So we have thorax. Can you say thorax? Thorax. It has that sound, right? Like Thursday. Okay. It's that 2-letter blend, thorax. And the thorax is the bottom part of the butterfly. The abdomen is the next word. Abdomen. Have you heard that word before? Can you think of anybody else, any other creatures that have abdomens? Well, we do, don't we? Yeah, where's our abdomen? If I said, pat your abdomen, where would you be patting? Well, you can't see, but it's my belly. It's my belly. Okay, and the next word is wing. The word after that is antenna. Antenna. So if you have 1 antenna, it's antenna. If you have 2, it's antennae. It's antennae. So when we were reading, it talks about the butterflies having 2. And the last word is head. Good. So let's go ahead and start with thorax, and let's label our butterfly, okay? I'm going to give you a moment to do the labeling yourself. I want you to try to see if you can figure out where the body parts are. Usually, you start with the ones that you know. And so go ahead and pause the video, and if you like, I'm going to go ahead and enter in what each of the labels are. And at the very top, we have a title. We need to make sure that we add our title up there, and it says, I am a, what are we talking about? Butterfly, butterfly. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in that. And if you need to know how to spell butterfly, you go back and you take a look at that informational text that we were reading. Informational text. Okay, and there's the thorax. The thorax is at the very bottom of the butterfly, the little body. It's at the very bottom there. Okay, Once I have labeled a word, I cross it out so that I know what words I have left. Be very careful with your letters. Make sure that your letters are looking very good. Take your time with your letters. Abdomen, that's in the middle there, right where the belly goes. Wing, that might have been the first one you did. Antenna, and pause the video if I'm going too fast. I don't expect you to work at the same pace as me, okay? Good. All right, how does yours look? Does yours look like mine? Let's take a look at what we have. In this first box, we have wing, wing, and over here we have antenna, because it's just pointing to the one. It's just labeling the one. If it was labeling both of them, it would be antennae, antennae. And then, of course, right here is the head, and then the belly is the abdomen, and the thorax goes down here just to the bottom of the butterfly. Good. Okay. Now I want you, this part's going to be a little bit harder. I want you to get out this page. It says topic web, and go ahead and write your name on it, okay? Write your name on it. Write my name on it, working on making sure that each letter is the same size. Only the first letter should be a capital letter. All the others are the same size, okay? So for this, what we need to do is we need to have our informational text with us. We need both of these to go together because this one gives us the information and this one is asking us to fill it in, okay? So if we take a look at this very top box, and again, we're talking about butterflies, and it says where they live. Underneath that, it says what they eat. Over here, it says what they look like. And down below, it says other facts. Okay, so over here, where they live. Can you remember where caterpillars live? Where do they live? What kind of a habitat or environment do they live in? Well, they live outside, right? They live outside. So right outside. Or in nature. They live in the grass, in the trees. They fly about. I'm going to put that they live outside. And when we look at our next boxes, we're going to have to go back to that article that we have. So we're just going to put that they live outside. Okay? Because there's nothing in our informational text that said exactly where they live. So it's not telling us, you know, certain parts of the outdoors or the country or the city, or if they live in one place more than the other. But from what we know about butterflies is that they live outside, and so we're going to put that in nature. Outside in nature. Or if you put that they live up in the sky, that would work too. I'll write down sky. Okay, let's look at the box down below. What they eat. Do you remember what they eat? It said so in our article, okay? Do you remember what they eat? And I want to pull up this part right here, okay? So up here, it's telling us that they're insects and they start off their lives as caterpillars. And here they're telling us about their body and the different parts of their body. little insect body. And down here, it tells us what they feed on. And down here, it tells us a little bit about the life cycle. Okay, so let's go back up here to this part right here. Can you put your finger on this sentence right here? And I'll read it. You read it with me. Butterflies feed on nectar from flowers. On nectar from flowers. Do you know what nectar is? Nectar is that sticky stuff that comes from the flowers. And that's what they love to eat. So I'm going to write nectar. And you can look back on your nectar, and it comes from flowers. But you can just write nectar. I'm going to add from flowers so that we have the whole fact. Remember, if you can look at the paper here to see how you spell nectar. You can try to hear the sounds to see how to spell nectar. Okay, good. Let's go to this top over here. What they look like. What do they look like? What do we know? And we just did our label, so we know what they look like. Can we put that into words? How many wings do they have? Again, we have to go back. I'll read this part one more time. You tell me what you hear, and we're going to write it down, okay? I'm on this part right here. They have 4 wings and 3 body parts. Ding, 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 ding. That tells me a little bit about what they look like. So I'm going to write 4 wings. And how many body parts do they have? They have 3 body parts. Okay, they have 3 body parts. So they have 4 wings, 3 body parts. And what else did they tell us? Well, let's listen. So they have the head, the thorax, and abdomen. Butterflies also have 2 antennae, which they use to taste or to touch, taste, and smell. Okay, so I'm going to write, we put down 4 wings, 3 body parts, and how many antennae? 2. And you know what? I made a little bit of a mistake, and that's okay. I don't have an eraser on mine. So I'm just going to scratch it out and just do it again as neat as I can. It's okay to make mistakes. I should be doing mine in pencil, but because I want you to be able to see it, I'm doing it in a pen, okay? It's better for you to use pencil, okay? So we know where they live. They live outside in nature, in the sky. They fly around. We know that they feed on nectar from flowers, and we know that they have 4 wings, 3 body parts, and 2 antennae. Can we think about anything else that we might know from what we learned on our paper? What else? How about if we added a fact about that they lay eggs, and that they have baby caterpillars, okay, or that they come from caterpillars. I tell you what, let's make this simple, and let's say that they lay eggs. That's a word we know. They lay eggs. There we go. They lay eggs. Good. And that is all that we needed to do today. So tomorrow we're going to do a little bit more. We're going to keep building on our butterfly unit and put it all together. All right, good job.